Salini solo, Danita di Bujiwang, Atuma Subagimulo, Itumba Makasisha.
Once again, Bonochi, welcome to you all, friends of INA and friends of Mongui Maduro Library. A very special good evening to Shoina Mongui Maduro. Shoina, you there? Shoina, can you hear us? Can you hear us? Okay, very good. You know, friends, we all do it from time to time. We cut out and save a newspaper clipping that is of interest, put away an invitation or an announcement to help us remember an event in the future, keep special magazines and newspapers, or just the front page thereof, which describe a historical event. We all do it from time to time. But few, if any of us, do it with the passion of Mongui Maduro. Few of us do it with such intensity, except perhaps voor Ina Mongui Maduro, die het met een paplepel heeft meegekregen. That goes as well for books and subjects of Antiliana and Judaica. Mongui's interest for all that was published about his native island started when he was only about 14 years old, and he was shown a copy of a Dutch publication, Neerlandia, which was dedicated to Curaçao. That was in 1905. And I would dare bet that not one book about Curaçao has been published in the last 110 years, with Mongui or his wife of 50 years, Lu, or later Ina and her late husband Emile have not ensured can be found on the shelves of our library. And the same goes for the countless publications on Judaica, which in one way or another touched the Curaçao Jewish and especially Sephardic community. You're all here today because you are friends of the Mongui Maduro Library, and therefore already know well our unique and special library. You probably have also read our publication 10 years ago on the occasion of our 30th anniversary, which we entitled The Past, a Present for Our Future, written by a dear friend of ours and of the library, Els Langenveld, who left us also early. And many of you will also have read our publication in 2010 at the 90th birthday of Ina, which we entitled Ina, Een Leven Tussen Boeken. There's very little I can add to all that. Permit me, therefore, to dwell today especially on the persons, the people, who have made our Mongui Maduro Library into what it is today. And we start, of course, with Mongui. Who was this Solomon Abraham Levi, S.A.L. Maduro? His is a somewhat difficult family tree to follow, as the same names repeat themselves generation after generation. Mongui was a grandson of Papa Monchi, Salomon Elias Levi Maduro, which you know as S.E.L. Maduro, and sons fame. Mongui was born in 1891, and after the young passing of his father, raised by his uncle Manchi, who never married, Manchi instilled in his nephew Mongui a love of the outdoors of Roy Katochi. Among his uncles and cousins, Mongui counted one of the greatest philanthropists of our country that our country has ever known, Lau Maduro, who in his own time was referred to as Padre de los Pobres. One of our greatest musicians and composers, Chal Maduro, and one of Curaçao's most successful entrepreneurs in his cousin Mamon Lau, or for some Mamon Blanc. These ingredients all came together in Mongui and made him a true Yudi Corso, eager to contribute to Curaçao society wherever he could. And he would do so in the family's businesses, in the Chamber of Commerce, in his congregation Mikveh Israel, and as honorary consul to France and Portugal. Mongui was not to do so alone. He was joined by his wife, Rachel Louise Shonglu Brandau, who would preside over the Vereniging Huisvleet for home industry for not less than 40 years and contribute in her own way to Curaçao society. Through Huisvleet, Shonglu helped countless households create their own income through handcraft, art, and Panama-style straw hats. From that happy marriage came forth our Ina. Her so very interesting life has been well described by Jeannette van Zetzhuizen, Ina, and Leven tussen boeken. Reading of Chong Ina's life, one cannot but be a bit envious of the exciting life she led as a young child on the Roy Katorchi estate in Hofi, and then as a young woman during the war years and directly thereafter. That excitement continued after she met and married Emil Dankmeijer, and together they added another dimension to their world, that of entrepreneurship, where the A&A chicken farm and later as one of the founding shareholders of what we today know as KFC. In every way, Emil became a true partner of Chong Ina, not only in their marriage, but also in E&E, in developing the entire Roy Katorchi real estate, and in guiding Chong Ina through the intricacies of stock markets, a quality that in later years and today would serve her and our foundation library very, very well.
Ron, it's incredible. How do you design a professional vision for a relatively small library that has grown totally out of its own clothes? A library, as you pointed out, that has its one unique place in this world. Well, first of all, we established a website 10 years ago, to be exact, at our 30th anniversary. We were now successfully connected to the world, and the world to us. It is an integral aspect of our vision to be recognized worldwide. Then we had to improve on the housing, our patrimony. In Landhaus Roy Katorchi, it was difficult to keep a constant low humidity level, something crucial to the preservation of books. At the same time, the mix of books and museum pieces became problemsome and tight. This problem was not easy to solve. The housing had not only to involve a functional use, but it also had to allow us to capitalize on digitalization and the professional use of a platform for research. As Ron already mentioned, Ina asked us to think out of the box. On weekends, we brainstormed what this housing would entail, sometimes even in the Hofi of Roy. We thought of transforming the Landhaus, watering gathering bins into book depots, visually imagining a glass pyramid over the vestibule. You name it, we thought of everything. Finally, Kees den Heide and Yongo Juliana came up with the perfect solution. We would have a modern building which would not conflict with the Landhaus, which would allow the whole Mongui Maduro collection plus acquisitions until the year 2014 to enjoy a sun-free environment and a humidity-free environment, both crucial to the preservation of books and, what is even more important, accessible to everyone. The move of the books to the Ina Dankmeijer Pavilion allowed for a beautiful standalone museum, the Landhaus Road Katorchi, in back of us here. The beautiful 1820 mansion, and maintained impeccably by our one and only Horacio.
And Harry, we're both businessmen. How to justify a multi-million guilder investment like this new library without probably ever a financial return on that investment in sight?
Well, Ron, investment should never be considered in a monetary sense. The true desire of both Mongui and Ina has always been enrichment and betterment, and the expansion of knowledge in humans, against no cost. The return to Ina is not the building. The return to Ina is that many of us, through her investments, have become better denizens of this world. We enrich ourselves, we learn, and we got better through the expansion of knowledge. That's all that matters. This has been the contribution, or call it the return, which Ina and Mongui have always wanted to see materialize. What stands here today is the successful realization of that dream. I think we all should stand up and salute and recognize Ina for this achievement.
Wow, that's quite an achievement. This is quite an achievement in 40 years, and I'm proud to have been a very, very small part of it. But Harry, what do we do next? Where do we go from here?
Ron, it's not a commitment cast in concrete, but we have to think where we would further expand on Mongi's and Ina's dream. Let us utilize all the available land for us to create something where we could contribute to the betterment of humanity and all the aspects which Mongui and Ina stood for, enrichment and knowledge. I believe that the dream of the Mongui Maduro Foundation is to, within the next few years, to create on her premises a cultural center, which for the betterment and environment and enrichment of all would complement all the good that has been achieved in the last 40 years. Internally, we have been throwing structures and designs around, and obviously you'll see here, what you see here today is not the final product. We have the drawings on the side, on the glass of the entrance building here. You can take a look at them. They're masterful and designed by Studio 8. It's not the final product, but the idea is there to successfully complement a great museum, an incredible library. You need a world-class, albeit small, cultural center, and we promise that in the near future, that will be standing here behind us.
To that future, bring to that future.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends, Ina Dankmeijer and the board of the Mongui Maduro Foundation really appreciate your coming here to celebrate this celebration. I'm moving a little difficult with champagne in my hand. And there's much more to come this evening. As a token of our anniversary, the Mongui Maduro Foundation is proud to support a project carried jointly by Stichting Klassiek Curaçao and Cultureel Centrum Curaçao. This project carries the name Young Strings of Curaçao and will become the front runner in getting a string youth orchestra established in this year, in the year 2014. The project leaders were successful in signing up a qualified violin teacher from abroad, and the recruitment has started last week. From now on, every Saturday, there will be ensemble lessons until the end of the year, where the ensemble is expected to perform in public for the first time at the end of this year. It's a great honor to ask Mrs. Charlotte Oster to step forward and receive a check for the Stichting Klassiek, who will be spearheading this project. Charlotte is the daughter of our treasurer, Mr. Arthur Oster, who couldn't be here this evening. Charlotte, please, the honors.
Altijd heb ik willen hebben iets van muziek hier. En nu gaat u hiermee werken en daar zullen we samen om goede muziek, een orkest zoals u voorneemt, hier zeer spoedig te kunnen ontvangen. Dank u.
Bravo. Thank you for all your kind attention, ladies and gentlemen.
Ay, más subió ser, ahí va mi barco, lo saben mis amigos, y nadie andan a bordo. Ay, más subió ser, ahí va mi barco, lo saben mis amigos, que barco a Isabela.
Macorís, holandesa vegana trechili. Na San Pedro Macorís, holandesa vegana trechili. San Cura lo picana, Braga lo comena. Antona lo cureya, Michi lo comena. Na San Pedro Macorís, holandesa vegana trechili. Na San Pedro Macorís, holandesa vegana trechili. San Cura lo picana, Braga lo comena. Antona lo cureya, Michi lo comena. San Pedro Macorís, San Pedro Macorís, San Pedro Macorís, San Pedro Macorís.
Mai filhinho, e a mim, olha, já contesta-me, que a placa é